Hi, and welcome to this short video where we will talk about the new research project about digital music that Martin Knust is about to begin. My name is Signe Kjær Jensen, and I work for the Linnaeus University Center for Intermediate and Multimodal Studies. And now I want to welcome you, Martin. You are a senior lecturer in musicology, and you've previously worked on research projects as different as music in opera and music in news media. And would you want to explain in a few words of your own what your new research project is about?
Yeah, thank you. Our new research project has a very catchy title. It's, if I translate it from Swedish, it is the laptop is the new mouth organ, meaning that we would like to investigate music production on the countryside. And to be more specific, it's digital music production. That's in the focus of our research project. We would like, it's a little bit multi-pronged. It's three approaches that we have. For the first, we would like to investigate how music is produced today in our region, in Småland. How many music producers do we have here? How do they market and promote their works, digital works? And the second question we have is how music is taught right now in schools here, because as we speak, I would say traditional instruments are replaced by computer and computer-generated music. That is something that is interesting for young people. And the third aim that we have is that we would like to give some kind of digital music production theory, which is not yet, I would say, something that has been established in music research.
So, but digital music has been around for a while, but you're saying that research hasn't really kept up.
Well, no, that's the nature of research. It's always a little bit behind. It has to wait until some phenomena establish themselves and stabilize, and then you can start, well, formulating theories or methods for investigation of this object. Digital music production is, as you say, it's nothing new. It started maybe back in the 90s. But I would say there are still some traces of the old analog era, which are still there, and there are some traces which are completely new. And as all music researchers who are established right now have a certain age, like I have, we are grown up in this analog era. So for us, it would be interesting to get a little bit more contact with the younger generations who have been grown up with laptops and are digital natives, as we say. Because I think the way how they produce and perceive music is very different from the way we did. And of course, music distribution has also become very different. Yeah.
That sounds very interesting. So, what inspired you to begin this kind of research project?
Yeah, this was a very, well, event that we all, well, felt in our lives. It was the pandemic. During the pandemic, we saw for the first time that the big cities in Sweden lost population. People moved from the big cities to the less densely populated areas for different reasons. The second thing that we have observed during 5 years or so is that our students in music production that we educate here at Linnaeus University, that they are more and more engaged with digital music production and no longer with, I would say, playing an instrument or singing or creating conventional songs. So the digital, I would say, well, genres, let's say like hip hop or EDM or even pop music that has, I would say, digital accompaniment. Those genres, I think, are the future, and this is something that we would like to prepare ourselves better for and to improve our education in order to, well, give the future music producers the equipment they need.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, you just received a lot of funding for this research project. I know the competition for funding is very hard. So, what do you think makes your research project stand out in the competition?
In our case, there were 2 points, I would say. The first point was because it was in the announcement of this funding, we emphasized that our research will be useful for music entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship was a very central thing. So this is something that should be usable, if I may say so, in the reality of music production today. The second thing we did, and that we wanted, so to say, to keep very clear is our language. So what we tried is to write an application that everybody can understand roughly. And this has also to do with that we are people from different disciplines within music. So we are musicologists, we are music pedagogues, and we are music producers. And this means we have to find a common jargon to communicate with each other and with surrounding society, as you say in Swedish. So these are the 2 points.
So a highly interdisciplinary project that also speaks directly to the real society. Your project is also conceived as a collaboration between a lot of different entities, both Linnaeus University, but also the educational project Make Music Matter, which, as I understand it, is also about teaching music teachers to use digital tools in their music education. And also, you're also collaborating with Mid-Sweden University and Dalarna University. So how do you think your research project benefits from this broad collaboration?
What we could offer is that we have some, I would say, broad networks that are very well working. Make Music Matters is, I would say, a well-established music pedagogic network. It's mostly addressed towards school education, teachers who are teaching school and primary and secondary level. And what they do is that they invite, for instance, people who have written a new textbook or people who are established music producers. And we have some in Sweden, I can tell, because Sweden is a nation that is quite well known for its music export. And if you bring these people together, both sides benefit. So it's really mutual. The music producers like to tell about their experiences and music teachers like to know about their experiences. So this is something that works very nicely and that we can use for enforcing the digitalization process that's going on in music teaching as well. The second thing is that you mentioned the collaboration with 2 other universities in Sweden. We have a music and sound production program here at Linnaeus University in collaboration with 2 other universities. And this means that we have, I would say, we reach out to our colleagues and we reach out to quite a large number of students who are studying here with us. It's a distance program, so those students will study at 3 universities at the same time. And what we could observe as well, and among those students, is that digital music production becomes increasingly interesting for them. And I would say almost half of them define themselves now as people who have the laptop as their main instrument. And this is new. This used not to be like that, I would say 3 years ago. So this is a process that's we have to acknowledge and maybe to embrace. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you really get the opportunity to work with a lot of different groups of people relevant to music production, as well as a lot of academics from different disciplinary areas through this broad project that you've devised. So if you were to give one advice to other researchers writing grant proposals in order to get funding, what would that advice be?
This is a Kamprad project, and Kamprad has specific, I would say, requirements. One requirement is that it is relevant for entrepreneurs. So in this case, we had to be very, I would say, concrete, very much hands-on. What will be the benefits for people who are active in this branch? The second thing, as I mentioned, is that you have to be aware that there are people who are not specialists who will read this and think about it. And the third thing in this case was that, as we talked about, that we could offer already a quite large number of different networks and potential, I would say, people, informant people, but also people who would, I would say, distribute or multiply our research. This is also something that's part of the project. It's a 3-year project. We would like to monitor how the changes that we may introduce into music teaching will affect music teaching as such. That means we will have 1 year of observing how teaching is done, 1 year of changing, implementing our ideas, and 1 year of monitoring what those changes are leading to. So that's also something that it's, I would say, very close to the pedagogical and economic practice, what we are doing. And I think this is something that is specifically attractive for Kamprad funds.
So you're both describing your relevance to society and also offering to actually measure your relevance to society. And then the second advice was to write in a clear language.
Mm.
Yeah, relevance to society and writing in a clear language. That might be easier said than done to some of us. Is there anything else you would like to highlight about your research project?
Well, it's a real research project. So, and real research for me means we don't know what will be the result. So it's open. What we hope to achieve is, on the one hand, that maybe music teaching as such will be modernized, both on university and on the primary and secondary school level. That music production as such will be, I would say, documented and investigated from a scholarly perspective. And this is that's my goal as a musicologist, that we maybe for the first time will achieve something that I would call some kind of music production theory, because that's lacking right now. Digital music production, as I said, is something that is well established in practice, but it has not entered academic discussions yet. And this is something I'm looking very much forward to. Let's see where we will be in 3 years. I think we will have something to offer.
I look forward to reading it. And thank you very much for coming today and talking about your research project. I wish you all the best with the future developments of it.
Thank you.